Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is brought to you in part by Tom's Place. For the finest in men's fashion, Tom's Place will suit you. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com. This is Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
How many pounds of clothing does the average American throw away every year?
Good old-fashioned glue, part of a complete breakfast. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy, and we scoured the internet to find out useless information for you.
Plus, we'll open up the mailbag, and in the news, he broke into houses to steal what?
Totally useless information. It's everything you never needed to know.
You're eating glue again for breakfast, Nick?
Plus, we have some exciting news.
Welcome to the Totally Useless Information Fashion Show.
I like her voice better than yours.
Yeah. We're really excited because we have a brand new sponsor, and we're starting off our show with fashion because our new sponsor is Tom's Place. We'll tell you all about it a little bit later on. But first.
Yeah, Tom's Place is the bomb, folks.
It is.
Trust me.
The good
You'll be
one.
excited to hear about this.
The good bomb. So here's my first fact. Okay, now you're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. You know that already. And some people say, well, we're just a bunch of Crocs. But you know what? How about this? How about Croc cowboy boots?
What?
The Pioneer Woman, the comfort shoe company, has officially released their most controversial product yet in the form of iconic clog gone country. Okay?
Yeah.
The Crocs Classic Cowboy Boot is complete with a signature croc skin texture, metallic Western-inspired embroidery details, and even a removable spinning spur on the backstrap.
The old backstrap spinning spur.
That's right. It's removable. Now you'll get the same comfy feel as the classic Crocs. Do you own a pair of Crocs, by the way?
I have a number of Crocs that I wear. I normally do my lawn in Crocs.
You do? Okay. Would you sport some cowboy Crocs?
No, I don't think so. Plastic cowboy boots?
Yes. Come on, you get the same comfy feel as classic Crocs thanks to their cross-slide footbeds as well as vent holes for breathability, according to their ad. Plus, each pair includes a Croc Star Gibbets charm and a 2023 Cowboy Duke Gibbets charm, just because you mentioned cowboy Croc boots.
Yeah. I have a pair of alligator boots, and boy, was that alligator surprised. You know, the average person, get ready for this one, wears 20% of their clothing 80% of the time.
Oh.
That means 80% of their clothing is pretty much either worn very, very rarely or never worn at all. Or my naturalist friends who wear 0% of their clothing 100% of the time.
And that's no Croc.
By the way, folks, I'm naked right now.
Oh, by the way, folks, I wish he were kidding. How about the blazer jacket? No, I know you drove a blazer when in high school, actually. Had a green blazer, but I'm talking about the blazer jacket.
Yes.
It's traditionally a thigh-length, double-breasted jacket tailored in either black or navy lightweight flannel. The brass buttons on the sleeves reflect the garment's origins in the late 19th century with British boating and cricketing cultures. Worn without matching pants, I said. Not. Okay, now you're probably going to take this as worn without pants. Worn without matching pants.
So matching pants would be a suit.
That's right. And without wearing pants, well, then you have a lawsuit.
We're going to have to ask Tom one of these questions,
Probably.
To be honest.
The blazer is looser and less structured around the shoulder and chest than the suit jacket that you referred to. So these are non-matching jackets that go nice, but they call them a blazer jacket.
60% of clothing today is made with plastic-based materials.
Oh.
So much for the tree-hugging college hippie students. They consume this college group, consumes 60% of the cheaply made clothing in the world.
Really?
Can you imagine? So, for their big deals over their environmental stuff,
Yeah.
they're actually wearing more clothing that has more plastic in it than cotton, which, of course, the cotton clothing is more biodegradable.
See, this does not make any sense to me because they're banning all kinds of plastic bags because it ruins the environment, and yet they're
Yeah.
walking around in plastic.
Yeah, yeah. I think for the sake of the whole world, they should think about wearing plastic bags.
Over their heads. How about a brown paper bag? He was known as a two-bagger.
That too.
Okay. How about
Nothing more biodegradable than a paper bag.
No, not at all. Ask any tree. Cuffs on your shirt dictate the formality level of that shirt. Cuffs with links are the most formal in the fashion world, with those with buttons are the least formal. And I don't know, you're a pretty dapper kind of guy. Have you ever heard of the expression, Roy, show some linen?
Yeah, that's so when you see the cuff at the outside of the suit jacket.
That's right. So when the cuff can be seen while wearing a jacket sleeve. The phrase
Yes,
came about.
I think it's what, a half inch?
Doesn't say exactly, but the phrase came about because shirts were first created from linen. So
Right.
through time, shirts were made from different materials, including cotton and now plastic, as you've indicated.
Yeah,
plastic,
polyester. Yeah.
and that kind of stuff. So so showing some linen means you're absolutely right that you're showing some of the sleeve outside, some of your shirt rather outside of the sleeve.
I have 28 suits and or jackets.
You do 28. You counted them.
It's actually a joke with my show. For people that know me, I'll start my show off saying I'm wearing number 22.
Right.
Something like that.
Now, for those of you who don't know exactly what Roy's talking about, you're not alone. What he's talking about is Roy lives in the southwest part of Florida, and he also sings. Not only does he show some of his talents here at Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, but he's also a quite a talented singer. And if you want to find out where Roy is singing next, go to musicbyroy.com. Musicbyroy.com. See what I did there? I gave you a little plug.
That's how I got into X-rated movies.
No, you
I like to show off my talents.
That's right. Showing more than your linen, so to speak.
Yes. Usually you had to pay $5 to get into those X-rated movies, but I got in for free. I'm dating myself. $5.
Yeah. Dating yourself. Yeah, because no one else would.
Yeah. Here's my teaser.
Yeah.
The average American throws away 81 pounds of clothing every year. That was shocking to me because 81 pounds is a lot, But 81 pounds of used, outstyled, worn, or sometimes new clothing. That's really great, said the homeless man wearing a Coco Chanel designer sweater.
Can you imagine?
81 pounds per person. All these homeless people have to do is go to the garbage pail. They got to come out with something good, right?
Yeah, exactly. Give me that stat again. How many pounds?
81 pounds of clothing each year.
Each American?
Each American throws away 81 pounds of clothing every year.
Okay, times about 300 million people, because you do the math.
362 million.
Okay,
Nick.
Canadians Canadians trash about 1 billion pounds of fashion and home items. They include home items in this stat here, made of fabric every year.
How does that work out?
Well, we're 40 million people, so you do the math, because I'm not doing math. We're not doing math here. We're doing fashion on.
So 80 billion? No, that's more than us, I think. That's
probably.
like 200 pounds apiece.
Yeah, well, we wear more layers of clothing because of how cold it is up here.
Ah, that's true, too. You guys throw away one jacket. That's 20 pounds right there.
That's right. Exactly. It's not volume, it's by weight.
Yeah.
Now,
it's like, here's a bag of toques.
So, you say that you have how many suits? 28 suits, and
yes.
of all the shirts
and counting.
And of all well, when you visit Tom's Place, you'll have a lot more. Do you have any shirts that are monogrammed? The cuffs are monogrammed.
I do not. Although I think that looks pretty cool.
It does. Well, when you monogram the cuffs, they're usually placed on the left side. And some say
I didn't know that.
That is to avoid getting distracted when shaking hands with your right hand, usually, right? In the old days, monograms on cuffs were hidden and also placed on the left. So they kind of hid them all together because they didn't want people to be distracted. It's like, okay, what's your name? What are your initials? They're made solely for identification purposes when you take them to the laundry.
Yeah, I tell you the truth. I think it's wonderful to monogram clothing. In high school, I had because you want to show it off,
Yeah.
So in high school, I had monogrammed underwear.
Yes. And people thought, what size is RL?
No, they were like, no, but that was because I wore Ralph Lauren.
Oh, I see.
Mine had BR.
BR.
Big Roy.
Right. Sounds like a candy bar. Do you have one more fashion?
I do.
Yes.
The fast fashion industry. I didn't even know there was a such thing.
Okay.
But because of these college hippies,
Wow.
because of the young people, they have a new industry called fast fashion. In other words, cheap clothing targeted exclusively to 18 to 24-year-olds. Could you imagine this?
Jeez.
Yeah. The least working population in the country is 18 to 24. The largest credit card debt in the country is between 18 and 24.
Wow, no fooling. Jeez.
Oh my God. Yeah. So they're targeting cheap, expensive clothing to the 18 to 24-year-olds who apparently need to take a class in college called Thrifty Economics.
With a cover charge. Hey, thanks for joining us here on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. 72 countries around the world, even in countries where they don't even speak English, like I don't. And if you go to our website, nickandroy.com, you can check out the Nick and Roy store. Tell them, Roy, why they need to go to the Nick and Roy store.
You need to go to the Nick and Roy store for a number of reasons. Number one, you can listen to all the episodes. You can binge listen and catch up on 200 some odd episodes. But you go to the Nick and Roy store and you go to birthday messages, click on it. Let me tell you, if you have somebody that you say, oh, I don't know what to get them, you get them a birthday message. We do different messages, of course, and you can hear them. Click on it. It is the best gift ever. It's inexpensive. It's fantastic.
Check it out, nickandroy.com. You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. And we want to welcome aboard to our family here of Totally Useless Information, although this will be quite useful. He owns a clothing store here in Toronto where I am. And so the next time you visit Toronto, you have to check out Tom's Place. Why, Roy?
I'll tell you why. Tom's Place is something special. First off, his selection of clothing is amazing. The quality of the clothing is amazing. The people at Tom's are so knowledgeable about clothing. That's another thing. You walk in there, they know exactly what to get you size-wise. They know what the fit's going to be on certain brands of suits and so on. They really are, and not to mention prices. You've got to go to Tom's Place. If you're going to buy clothing, you need to go to Tom's Place.
Now, Tom's Place is open for business and, more importantly, on sale every day. So if you want to call them at 416-596-0297, 416-596-0297, or check them out on their website, which is toms-place.com, toms-place.com. Or you can visit our website, nickandroy.com. You can click on his logo. You can find out about specials and store hours. Now, Tom has an incredible method. Like, he's at the cash at the front. You go do your shopping, and you're right, the staff is knowledgeable. And then he stands there at the cash register. He will take the money right off there. As he likes to say, Tom stands for take off more. Okay, so he's got a huge amount of inventory that needs to be moved. The deals are simply amazing with lower prices than ever in the 65-year history of Tom's Place.
You know, a good suit is expensive. You can go to a box store and buy cheap clothing. Go to Tom's. You want to see a real wool suit? You go to Tom's. And you're talking about, you can get like a wool suit at Tom's for $149. Wow. I'm talking about a suit. You walk in there, sport jackets, half off the price. Mm-hmm. I mean, wool coats, regularly like $900, $1,000 wool coat. You go into Tom's, $325. And you have to see these jackets and these suits because, again, I have 28 suits. I can tell you what a good suit is. Tom's Place, really great stuff.
Shirts, sweaters, coats, sports jackets, and much, much more. Visit Tom at Tom's Place, 190 Baldwin Street in Kensington Market in Toronto. It's the Boxing Week sale right through the month of January. Tom's Place will suit you.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy continues. Listen, laugh, and learn. Your weekly sweet and savory facts of totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Come and get it!
So,
Speaking of food, Nick,
Yeah,
if you're going to go to a fancy party or something, you're going to have to go to Tom's. Tom's Place for a fancy. If you get an invitation and that invitation says formal, don't even stop. Just go right down to Baldwin Street and go to Tom's Place.
You got it. You've seen pictures of food and you go, wow, that looks absolutely delicious, doesn't it?
I've seen some pictures of food that I actually ate.
Well, believe it or not, in some of those pictures, okay, this is totally useless information with Nick and Roy, but I'm going to tell you right now, some of those pictures, some of the photography that's used, they use some tricks in order for them to do some really fancy food styling. For example, when you see a stack of pancakes, okay, homemade pancakes rarely look as good as the ones that, on the recipe books and in the boxes, right? It's because they're often stacked up with concealed cardboard circles between each pancake. That gives each pancake extra space to look light and fluffy instead of looking quite flat, which is what my pancakes look like when I make them.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, most pancakes taste like cardboard anyway, so nobody would be shocked.
When I make them, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a good pancake and then there's a bad pancake, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like, I go to a diner, I'm disappointed with pancakes. Some places, though, have fantastic fluffy pancakes with nice fresh blueberries in it.
Sounds delicious.
If you figure in the type of breads, meats, toppings, and combinations, it's estimated that there are 38 million different variations possible to make a Subway sandwich.
38 million?
Yeah, because there's different meats and there's tuna fish and there's meatballs and there's different cheeses, different breads, different toppings. And if you figure the variations, 38 million, they believe.
So I talked about pancakes. So in order for you to enjoy some delicious pancakes, you need some syrup, right? Some nice pancake syrup. And to get the perfect pictures, I continue to reveal some food tricks used in food styling photography. To get the perfect picture of maple syrup drizzling down the side of cardboard pancakes, professionals use engine oil. Most food photographers actually use engine oil to drizzle over the pancakes as it doesn't absorb. If you're using fruit, try keeping it in place with toothpicks so they are beautifully balanced on the pancakes. But that syrup is none other than engine oil.
This is unbelievable. So you got cardboard, engine oil, and toothpicks.
That's right.
This is a scary thing of pancakes.
It is.
All right, you're going to love this one, Nick.
Yeah.
What is the traditional Christmas dinner in Japan?
Sushi.
No. Originally, it was turkey, but it became very hard to get turkeys.
Right.
So get ready for this. It's called Karasumu ni wa Kentaka. Karasumu ni wa Kitaki.
That rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? With a stud in it.
Yeah. Karasumasu.
Right, see?
You have to say it with a little bit of like
emphasis.
Seriousness.
Yeah, if you don't. Right.
Niwa Kitaki.
Otherwise, it doesn't sound like Japanese at all.
That translates to Christmas dinner at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Really?
Get ready. The number one tradition in Japan right now is Kentucky Fried Chicken for dinner. By the way, Japan, it's not an actual national holiday, Christmas. No. And like in the United States, think about it. If you burn the meal on Christmas Day, You know you're eating Chinese food, right?
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
It's the only thing that's open.
I think in North America, because up here in Canada, the same thing. Either that or Swiss Chalet, which is like a chicken rotisserie place. Now that we're dropping names here. Wow. So Kentucky Fried Chicken is the number one food on Christmas Day, and not a holiday. Okay. Interesting.
Karasumasu niwa Kentucky. Kentucky.
Would you like
Can you imagine?
Would you like some wasaki with your Kentucky?
That was their media slogan. It means Kentucky for Christmas.
Right. Okay. There you go. Thank you. So here's my teaser. Milk is rarely used when photographing cereal because it makes the food look mushy. What they use instead is glue. This is because it helps to balance each wheat biscuit or cereal item on top. Milk tends to cause the cereal to look soggy, whereas glue holds the cereal right in the surface and keeps it looking crisp and much better on camera.
I've found it works better than Viagra as well. You wouldn't want a soggy looking one now.
No.
In 2008, Domino's came out with an oven-baked sandwich.
Oh.
They wanted to compete against Subway, who was doing really well in 2008.
Yeah.
So they came out with an oven-baked sandwich to try and compete with them. If you wanted to get a free sandwich, this was the media campaign. If you walked into Domino's with a driver's license with the name Jared on it, they would give you a free sandwich.
Really? Wow.
Yes, or in the case now, you can bring your probation papers and they'll give you a free sandwich.
That's right. Along with your truant officer.
I think Domino's should just stick to pizza, okay? I mean, the sandwich thing didn't work out for them either. So.
I don't think so. Another item, another way that they trick you when you're watching this, looking at this beautiful ad, in terms of ice cream. Now, there are many different recipes to make fake ice cream because you would think, I mean, obviously, ice cream would melt, right? Because it takes a long time to get that perfect shot. So they don't use actual ice cream. They have many different recipes to make fake ice cream. The easiest one requires you to substitute ice cream with mashed potatoes.
Ooh, that makes sense.
Then add some food coloring depending on the flavor of the ice cream that you want to mimic. And voila, you have fake ice cream, but it's mashed potatoes.
You know, if you wanted to be completely honest, you could just have mashed potato flavored ice cream and then you wouldn't be lying to the people.
Yeah.
Boy, that's how my brain works.
Yes, it is. Yes, completely mashed.
You can't pull one over on me, you know? That's because my brain is baked more than the potato. All right, Cinnabons.
Yeah.
You like them?
Oh, thanks. I didn't realize you thought of me that way. Oh, Cinnabons.
I'm asking you, Cinnabon.
Yes.
do you think they're delicious, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially when you walk through this, like you walk through the mall, or here in Toronto, Union Station, they have a couple. There's a Cinnabon place there. Oh my gosh, I don't even take the train. I just walk through there just to smell the delicious cinnamon. Why do you ask?
Well, ladies, get ready for this one. The average lady's caloric intake for the day is 1,780 calories, under 1,800.
Okay.
One Cinnabon has 890 calories.
No.
Half a woman's daily intake.
No.
Wait, Nick. Do not speak yet.
Okay.
It gets better.
All right.
36 grams of fat.
Oh.
In one Cinnabon. The best is yet to come. This one affects me. 59 grams of sugar. I think a Snickers bar has like 36 grams of sugar. That's crazy.
Wow. You know who I want to bring on the show is a former colleague of mine who's now doing all kinds of fitness stuff. His name is Joey Roselli. He's really good. He's actually what I consider a food influencer.
Joey Roselli. He's a nice Irish guy.
Yeah, he is. He is from Montauk. No, he's actually a truly honest to goodness food influencer. not just an influencer because they just put influencer in front of their name. Like, he really knows his stuff. He'd be a great guest on. I'm gonna, as soon as we're done with the show today, I will talk to him and find out if he wants to come on our show, because I think he'll give a lot of useful information. Well, 59 grams of sugar, but 50 grams of sugar is approximately 12 teaspoons of sugar.
That's insane. You know, I dated a girl named Death Buns in high school.
Come on, she was a sweetheart. You're listening to
anybody that listens to this show knows there must have been a lot going on in high school. I'll tell you.
Yeah, and education had nothing to do with it.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn. From Beethoven to Bieber, rock and roll to rhythm and blues. This is totally useless music information with Nick and Roy.
All right, Nick.
Uh-huh.
Get ready.
Yeah.
There's two of these I have. 100 million Facebook followers. That's a record. Shakira.
No.
You know, Shakira.
Yeah, shake your hips, baby. Yeah.
Oh, baby, when you dance like this.
Right, yeah.
Okay, her. She has 100 million Facebook followers. She beats out Katy Perry, but Katy Perry beats her out on Twitter.
Wow.
Get ready. She has 100 million Twitter followers.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
So recently, Shakira admitted to tax fraud in a long-running case in Spain, and she got a suspended sentence.
Oh, she's tax fraud in Spain?
Yeah, after having maintained her innocence for nearly 5 years, she struck a last-minute deal to avoid the risk of going to prison on opening day for tax fraud in Barcelona sometime in late November. Yep.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, when they don't pay their taxes and they run, they call that a Spanish fly.
That's right. Now, the actor Ryan Gosling, who's in that absolutely adorable, wonderful movie, Barbie. Have you seen that yet? Have you seen Barbie?
Nick, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yes.
Four times. I would not go to see Barbie. I'm sorry.
You've always dreamed of having like a Barbie dream.
But my wife did go with a girlfriend of hers.
Okay.
They went to see Barbie.
Did they like it?
And they did not really like it. No.
Okay. Well, that's their problem. That's their prerogative, you know. Now, Ryan Gosling is in that movie. He played Ken. Now, he's very talented, of course, but he was almost in the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, really?
Now, Justin Timberlake, of course, went on to be successful after his stint with NSYNC. And by the way, Justin Timberlake was also a member of the Mickey Mouse Club.
Ah.
Well, so was Ryan Gosling. So Ryan Gosling was not only a Mouseketeer like Justin Timberlake, but he was offered a place as a member of the fellow boy band Backstreet Boys. But sadly, Gosling didn't want it that way and turned down the prestigious opportunity.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
I want it that way.
He didn't.
You know, I got a lot of Japanese things today, and being that I spoke a little Japanese before.
Just a little, yes.
I do it to show people how well-rounded I am, and
you are
able to.
Yes, you know why you're well-rounded, because of all the Cinnabons you ate.
Exactly, and I speak a bunch of different languages. Most of them are English, and they just sound different when I drink.
They're alcohol-induced languages.
The shamisen.
The what?
You heard me. The shamisen.
Okay, what is that?
The shamisen it's a type of a cross between a guitar and a violin. Now, when I say this to you and the audience, they are going to understand exactly. Did you ever see a Japanese movie or see something filmed in Japan, or actually go to a spa and you hear blang, bang, dang, dong, ding, dang, ding, dang, dong?
Yeah.
That's a shamisen.
Oh.
It's a toss between a violin and a guitar. It's played like a violin, but it's the size of a little smaller than a guitar, and it has a little different characteristics than a violin, more like a guitar.
Right.
It has that twangy sound. On October 23rd, 2016, 1,911, why that number, I don't know.
Okay.
But they broke the Guinness World Book of Records on October 23rd. They played together for 6 minutes and 5 seconds. It was a 6-minute, 5-second song to break the world record of the most shamisen musicians playing together. 1,911 of them on October 23rd.
Wow.
Now, the person from the Guinness World Book of Records said, "Thank God it was only 6 minutes and 5 seconds."
That's right. He would have set a new record of how long it took him for him to leave the room. Now,
and then there was also a Guinness World Book of Records of the guy from the Guinness World Book of Records killing himself with a shimishan
while eating sushi. So we've heard the Gregorian chants, that music, right? The very sort of solemn sounding. These are a bunch of like Gregorian monks who are chanting.
Oh, yeah.
And I think years ago, I think it was in the 90s, they actually came up with albums where people were actually into Gregorian chants. They became really popular. Now, there were 16 popes named Gregory. Because here's why I bring this up. So I'm thinking Gregorian chants. Who was Gregory? Because I need to know, right?
Ooh. Why do they call it Gregorian?
That's right. So on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, thank you for joining us. There are 16 popes named Gregory. But the one who lent his name to the chants was Pope Gregory I, also known as Gregory the Great. That was his stage name. He was the father.
Yeah, he really liked himself, this guy. He was the first, the greatest.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he's
exactly.
Like, I am the goat pope.
The goat pope.
Dominos Deus, I am the goat.
Dominos Deus, bah. So you know what? Listen, yeah, you're right. He is full of himself. Gregory the Great, Gregory the First, like you say often. He's not conceited.
He's convinced.
He was the father of the medieval papacy and a tremendous influence on this time. Gregory chant proper is a body of music, purely vocal, that evolved from the papal choirs of the 5th and 6th centuries. So it has some history. It was codified in the time of Gregory I and stands as the basis for all Gregorian music. So everyone else thinks that Gregory was great, the goat. Gregory the goat.
You know, that's amazing that almost every society and every religion has a chant, and they're very harmonic.
Yes.
You know, and remember when we were kids in high school and you'd make that noise like, and then the next person would do it and you couldn't tell where it was coming from because of the harmonics of it. You know? Yeah. And that's a chant. That's the same thing. Oh, manapamion. Oh, manapamion. That's a chant. That's a Gregorian chant, I believe.
There it is.
Okay. Singing in a group. Which Nick and I are very familiar with because in high school, Nick and I both sang in the chorus.
Dr. the
Zick
choir. That's right.
Whatever you
Dr. the Zick. Shout out to Dr. the Zick.
Researchers have discovered that singing in a group provides physical and emotional benefits. It rises your spirit and mood through the fact that it releases large quantities of oxytocin, the feel-good hormone. Which is amazing. So it's two things, singing in a group and sex.
No.
Now, if we could just sing and have sex at the same time, we'd be really excited.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And it involves a goat.
Yeah.
And it involves a goat.
Oh, Manapamion.
Now, this is what I call not weird at all. Weird Al Yankovic. Okay, he's the guy with the... personally, I think he's quite brilliant. I mean, some of his songs are like, meh, but he's quite brilliant with some of the parodies that he's made famous for.
Remember the Beat It, Michael Jackson? He had Eat It, Eat It, Eat It.
That's right, yeah. So Weird Al Yankovic received a bachelor's degree in 1981, a bachelor's degree in architecture.
Oh, really?
He also served as valedictorian of his high school at age 16. So not weird at all.
No, he's a pretty smart guy, I guess.
Yeah, weird but smart.
5% of the world's population feel absolutely nothing when they hear music.
Really?
95% of the population feels something, a thought, a memory, a feeling, like feel good, feel sad. remembrance, memories, right?
Yeah.
95% of people that hear a song think of when they heard that song.
Right.
5% of the population think absolutely nothing when they hear a song, which means it just goes to my fact that we're going to hell in a handbasket.
Now, I'm a witness to this, and 100% of the people who attend Roy's Music down in Southwest Florida pay attention to his music and enjoy 100% of the music.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Hey, thanks for joining us here on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. 72 countries around the world, even in countries where they don't even speak English, like I don't. And if you go to our website, nickandroy.com, you can check out the Nick and Roy store. Tell them, Roy, why they need to go to the Nick and Roy store.
You need to go to the Nick and Roy store for a number of reasons. Number one, you can listen to all the episodes. You can binge listen and catch up on 200 some odd episodes. But you go to the Nick and Roy store and you go to birthday messages, click on it. You're gonna, let me tell you, if you have somebody that you say, oh, I don't know what to get them, you get them a birthday message. It is the best gift ever. It's inexpensive. It's fantastic.
Check it out, nickandroy.com.
What's in the mailbag? What's in the mail?
Jim Barracks from Staten Island, New York. Dear Nick and Roy, we love listening to your show every week. We know that you're on the radio in Canada. Will you be on the radio in the United States anytime soon? Okay, that's a good question. So if anybody's out there who knows anybody in the radio business in the United States of America.
Well, we are working on it. Yes, we are working on actually a Florida and Ohio-based radio station that may be thinking about using our show. So, which is cool. Another add-on to the amazing growth of this show because of you folks that are listening. Exactly. And what was the guy's name? Jim
Barracks. But here's his actual question, though. He has a question.
I'm glad his family didn't name him his first name Army. Army Barracks.
So here's my actual question. He says, I know you guys are best friends for many years. I have a high school buddy that I hang with, and we have a great time. I understand that cows... Where's he going with this? I understand that cows make friends and stay with them for a long time. Is this true?
Nick dated one in high school. How did that work out?
Okay, so Jim, yes, we're trying to infiltrate the radio market in the United States, as Roy mentioned, so we're trying to do that. But if you and anyone out there has a radio contact, just send us an email at nickandroy.com. But Jim, yes, cows have besties. Research in the UK found that more than half of individual cows spend their time eating and relaxing alongside one specific cow, a best friend of sort. And I can say the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the cow's mother with the young cow coming home for dinner with his girl, and it's a goat? Let that one roll around your head for a while.
And it was singing a Gregorian chant. That's right. You know, she said
to her son, you bring this goat home? Are you crazy? And he said, nah.
No. Don't you have other girls you can bring home?
Oh, my God. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Okay. Well, I got mine.
What do you got?
Caleb from South Georgia. Caleb didn't even pinpoint the town.
Okay.
He said, Caleb, that's what got my attention. He just used the entire southern part of the state. Caleb, he says, I was turned on to your show by my ex-girlfriend. He writes, by my ex-girlfriend. This, of course, really got my attention. Then he goes on to say, she's gone, but I still listen to your show. I love this guy.
Yeah.
Caleb, you're all right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there's plenty of other fish in the sea, but there's only one totally useless information show.
That's right. Exactly. My gosh. Okay. So we talked about, so if you want to send us an email.
Oh, by the way, Caleb, your ex-girlfriend will be a guest on the show next
That's
week.
right. On the show today, we talked about fashion, we talked about food, we talked about music. It's time for the news.
And now, from around the corner and around the world, this is TUI News.
A man from Rhode Island faced 4 felony charges after police say he admitted into breaking into homes to steal sex toys.
Wait a minute. He broke into homes to steal sex toys.
To give as a birthday gift. Benjamin Nadrowski, 32, was arraigned before a judge.
How did he know they had sex toys in the house? Do you have sex toys in your house?
He was arraigned before a judge in this.
You noticed that long pause there, folks.
Listen, no, I'm just trying
As
to...
I'm speaking to Nick, behind him is a shelf with various sex toys.
That's right. No, it's a massager. It's a muscle relaxer.
He calls them his elf on a shelf.
But I'm not going to tell you the name of the elf on that shelf. According to police...
Richard!
There you go.
Oh, my God.
There's a new marketing thing. Nick on a shelf. According to police, officers were dispatched around 10:45 in June at a home in Power Street for a report of a suspicious person. The dispatcher told police a person was trying to break through a window. We're not sure if it was a bathroom window. When police arrived, the resident of the home said that while he was getting ready for bed, he saw someone standing outside his window on top of a chair and tried to get in through his bathroom window. It was a bathroom window.
Yeah.
He came through the bathroom window.
Yeah, he came in through the bathroom window.
Detectives asked Nadrowski about 3 other breaking and entering incidents the previous week. According to the supplemental police narrative, I guess their report, he admitted entering a home on Armstrong Street and he stole a sex toy from a bedroom. He told police he didn't steal any items of value from residences, only women's sex toys. He said he intended...
Wait a minute. I would ask those women first before he makes that decision of whether or not they were valuable to those women.
Nadrowski told police he didn't steal any items of valuable, but only women's sex toys. Now, he wanted to give someone a birthday gift. Now, due to the felony charges, no plea was entered in court. Here's the thing, though. The judge did set bail at $2,500 with a surety for the breaking and entering charges and $5,000 personal recognizance for attempting the breaking and entering charges, with conditions that he not go back to the residences, you think, and they complete a mental health screening.
That's right.
And upon sentencing, he was sentenced to a week's stay in Dildo, Newfoundland.
No. This guy went ahead in 3 places, 2 successfully, right?
Right.
And 1 attempted.
Right.
My question is, did he just randomly break into places in the hopes of finding sex toys? Where is this, Nick? Where was this?
This was in, let's look at the dateline, Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay, so the people of Rhode Island must be buying way too many sex toys because this man literally randomly broke into homes and left with sex toys just so he could fit through the small part of the window. He'd lube himself up.
So he was
and
sentenced.
so that they couldn't find out who he was, he wore 10 condoms, 1 on each finger.
Wow.
No prints, sir.
No prints. That's all the time.
No prints, but there's these rib marks all over the place.
So yes, he was sentenced to a week in Dildo, Newfoundland.
No. He was sent off to Ramsey's prison.
That's all the time we have for this week's episode of Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Thank you very much for joining us. Week after week, we truly do appreciate it. We will scour the internet as we always do to find out more totally useless information just for you.
Yes, go to nickandroy.com and visit the whole website. You're going to really like it. Take a look at the newsletter thing, too, because that's really cool. And sign up. Sign up on the website.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy.
Thanks for listening.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy was brought to you in part by Tom's Place. For the finest in men's fashion, Tom's Place will suit you. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com.